good to see you again.
Morning, the 23rd of October, 2023. Beatrice Adamuiji remains my name, the anchor of this wonderful program, a socio-political, socio-economic program on radio, and we're reaching you live from the city of Jos, to be precise, from the hills of ZINARIYA here in Jos North, Plateau State, Nigeria. Don't forget, Plateau is the home of peace, and we will do our best to make sure we promote the peaceful coexistence being enjoyed on the plateau. To be precise, to be specific, it's in the city of Jos this lovely Monday morning. Don't forget also, you need also to get to be informed of Unity Academy that is coming your way. It's that training that you cannot afford to miss, and so do your best to get to register. Do the needful so that you'll be a part of the training. I'm sure you will never regret being part of Unity Academy. Training is coming on very, very soon. It's very affordable, and everything we'll do is to make sure you get it right just the way you are. And of course, on Unity 93.3 FM this lovely Monday morning, I don't do this alone, and so there is no way I will be all alone in the studio this morning. But I have a message for you even out there. When people decide to take dialogue as a means of resolving violence and conflicting incompatible goals, destructions of lives and properties become the farthest thing ever, and development becomes the nearest ever. And you may want to take a decision to live in peace with your neighbor. It's yours to do, and it's mine to do. It's a message from Beatrice Adamu Easy this Monday morning, the 23rd of October 2023. In the studio this morning for the review segment of Unity Trend is Professor P.H. Bamayi, a public and current affairs analyst. He's in the studio. I would want him to say good morning, if you don't mind. Prof, it's good to have you in the studio.
My pleasure, Kulbi. Good morning, Kulbi. Good morning, our viewers and our listeners. It's a beautiful, wonderful Monday morning, the 23rd day of October, 2023. A day full of promises, a day full of blessings. And I want to encourage us all to begin this week on a positive note. And today, we'll be having a fantastic time together in the studio with Kulbi and with you, all the listeners and viewers. So please remain tuned in to Unity FM Radio and Unity TV.
Of course, Prof, it's so lovely, and we've had a weekend. It's just gone, and so people would always want to ask, how was your weekend? I know in some other countries you don't mind if anybody's weekend was fine or not. But you see, sir, we're in Nigeria, so I beg you don't mind I ask you, how was your weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was full of activities.
Yeah,
I had to be away for some official engagements in Abuja, professional engagements since Friday, and it was wonderful to meet with colleagues from different parts of the country to meet and discuss and take certain decisions that concern our profession, and also, bring in some innovation into our professional practice across the country. So we had a wonderful time with the Minister for Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Kyari.
I see.
And I got to know on Friday that he was actually named after the first indigenous veterinarian in Nigeria.
Oh my.
The first indigenous veterinarian in Nigeria is Dr. Bukar Shaib from Borno State. And Bukar Kyari was named after him.
Oh,
that's what he told us.
So that is
I was just getting to know that for the first time. And but it was a weekend full of meetings, full of activities, full of having to take certain decisions, policy decisions and all that. And Of course, many other things also happened around the country over the weekend, so it was worthwhile.
Yes, of course. That is to say, the minister was named. He's the right person for the job.
Oh, yeah, he is. Interestingly, he's very passionate about agriculture generally, and especially the veterinary profession. And you can see the passion in him, you know. So I think that, in fact, you know, this is the first time we are having the Ministry of Agriculture, not just called Ministry of Agriculture, but Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
And food security.
Because we need food security in this country. We are not food secured. The average Nigerian cannot afford 3 square meals. If he's able to get 1 meal a day, he's happy. 001 or 010, whatever it is, he's satisfied. In fact, some Nigerians don't even get anything at all for the whole day. It's really pathetic to see some people be begging you. They have not eaten the whole day, and you're talking about evening already, and they have not taken anything. So it's quite challenging, but I'm happy that the government is thinking about food security, so that we can handle this issue of people not having food on the table to eat.
I'm so interested, Prof, to hear about food security. And when you mentioned that some Nigerians have not been able to, you know, to have some food, even for a whole day, and it's still happening today.
Yes.
Now, that reminds me, just yesterday at night, around 8 p.m., my gate and everything, the entrance was already locked. And someone was knocking. It was so strange to have such a visitor at such a time. And he was continuously knocking. You know, I had no choice than to, who is there? And then I didn't even open. I was just from afar and say, who is there? Say, it's me. Who are you? He introduced himself. I couldn't get to figure out who was that very person. I said, what's the problem? He said to me, truly nothing else brought me here but food. I have nowhere to eat food this night. And I thought of coming to your house. Please, my stomach is empty. That's all that brought me. I didn't know who was that person. I had to go back to the room and get whatever it is, you know, that I had and package everything. I had to give him through the window because, I mean, you know, to find a place. I didn't open because it was too late to have
it. Was late for
it was late for me to even want to open the gate for anything like that. But I had to give him.
Absolutely.
So you can imagine.
You know, could be somebody committed suicide just I think 2 days back. And so the friend, because in Nigeria, many people commit suicide, they don't leave suicide notes. And some of them are not educated people.
Yes, to be
able to write, at least in
this
English.
Is the reason.
So this person committed suicide, and it was his friend. That was this was in Yola, Adama State. So the friend was talking about that the man has been passing through a lot of challenges. He can't put food on the table for his family. He has a wife, he has children. They can't feed. Talk less of getting money to pay school fees, you know, and other things. So the man decided to take his own life. You know, that is what is happening. And this is not just an isolated case. We have many of such cases across the country, from north to south, east to west, across the country. People are finding it very difficult to feed.
It's really difficult.
If they can just find something little to eat, you know, they will be contented. And that's why I think that the government needs to do something very urgent. The matter of food security is a national emergency.
It is.
It is a matter of national emergency, you know, and something must be done about it. You know, just yesterday, one of my friends in the United States of America sending some money so that the young man staying with us can buy some food stuff and give it to some students who are finding it difficult to feed themselves. So between today and tomorrow, we'll be able to get some food stuff to give a few students. Very few because compared to the total number of students in the university, you know. But I like what this friend did, because he feels I know that Students are finding it difficult. So please, this is my own contribution. Please get some students who need this and give them some food to eat. So it's quite challenging.
Yes, it is.
You know, some of our students come to lectures, they have not eaten.
Sure.
And some of them will stay the whole day. They have not taken anything, you know. And you see people walking on the streets. They're staggering, not because they're drunk, but they have not eaten since morning.
In fact,
they have not eaten food. So
the man I told you knocked on my place last night. I was just wondering, is it that he was drunk? Or it's that he was too hungry that he couldn't even get to speak in a way that I would feel he's normal? And he said to me, he said, after I've given him all the package that I had for him, he said, sorry, I find it difficult and unacceptable to go steal somebody's property just because I want to eat. That is why I have to, to come knock on your door this late. I said, oh, wonderful. He said that.
Wonderful.
You see, so, Prof, let's begin to see what we have over the weekend. Talking about Naira slums, further exchanges, 1,190 per dollar, and we also have issues like NDLEA intercept Saudi Arabia bound cocaine, concealed in body cream, and lots more. Let's see what we have to talk around some of these issues.
Yeah, we've been talking about the matter of Forex, the Naira against the dollar. Unfortunately, the Naira has been falling continuously. Instead of appreciating, it has been depreciating against the dollar. Now we are talking about 1,190 Naira to $1.
Yes.
That's almost 1,200 Naira to $1. And in fact, they were asking some of the Bureau de Change people, they said they don't even have the dollar. I dare you go to the Bureau de Exchange here in Jos. Go there around the terminus, after post office area and other places. Go there this morning and see how much dollar you can get. They don't have it. And that is why the dollar keeps appreciating against the Naira. Where has all the dollar gone to? Where is the dollar that CBN promised that they'll be giving people, at maybe some official rate, and all this? There is so much demand for the dollar that we don't have enough dollar. And this is because many of our politicians and public servants, their children are schooling outside the country abroad. They need dollars for that. This is because we have an economy that is based on importing things from other countries. And we need dollars to do that. This is because our politicians that go on holiday abroad, they need a dollar. This is because so many of the things we do depend on dollar. There is so much pressure on the dollar that is not available. So the dollar is a scarce commodity. The currency is scarce, so it keeps appreciating and appreciating and appreciating. Apart from the fact that we have an economy that is extremely weak. We don't produce anything. We import everything, including toothpick. We import to Nigeria. Including cotton wool, we import. Including peanut, granite that we are producing here, we're importing it from other countries. So how can our Naira be strong? Our politicians will not buy innocent vehicles. They want to import Toyota at almost 200 million for each one of them. We get Toyota vehicle 160 million for each of the members of the National Assembly when they can get innocent vehicles. Because they are not interested in strengthening the economy of the country. Why can't we patronize innocent vehicles? Even if you say the vehicles are not strong, why can't we do something to strengthen it?
To make it strong.
Do you know that many years ago, this happened more than 50, 60 years ago? 2 young Japanese were schooling in the US. And they were using pencils from Japan. Even though their pencils were not as good as the ones in the United States. And they kept struggling when they are writing, the thing will break. Sometimes it won't write very well. And the teacher said, why don't you use our own pencil? Why do you have to use the one from Japan? And one of the students started crying. He said, if I use your pencil, how will Japan grow? How will Japan become better? How will Japan be developed? No, I will not. I will use our Japanese pencil so that Japan can develop also and become like the US. Today, Japan is a strong economy because the Japanese were jealous for their country. The Japanese were protective of their own economy. The Japanese were ready to do anything. You know, after the Second World War, Japan was so devastated that they were cutting barks of trees to boil and eat. The nation was devastated. The first place where the atomic bomb was used was in Japan. Japan was the first, and we hope that it will be the last place, you know, that the atomic bomb was used. Japan was decimated. The economy was destroyed completely. But when they came back, they decided to revamp their economy. Why can't Nigeria do the same thing? The small countries, age mates of Nigeria that are doing well. I was in Malaysia. I wanted to give them US dollars because I feel this is the currency. And look at the US dollar. This is stronger than your own. This is better. In fact, you can even keep the change. The man said, no, I would not accept it. Give me Malaysian ringgit. If you like, go and exchange the dollar. Bring the currency of our country. We will not accept any transaction in any other country, any other currency except the currency of our country. But the average Nigerian just go and give them US dollars. In fact, the man would just collect it with all his heart. In fact, you know, some years ago, I wanted to buy a car. I came on a visit while I was out of the country. I wanted to buy a car here in Jos. And I told the man I have some dollars, I can change to Naira, and all that. The man said, pay me in dollars. Give me the dollars.
Already all out.
You know, he was ready to collect the dollars. But those who understand economics, they want to strengthen the currency of their country. So this is why the dollar is becoming stronger and stronger. The Naira is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And the government doesn't even know what to do about it. Because what they thought they could do, you know, has not helped, you know, the currency. And you wanted to make a comment, could be?
Yes, please, Prof. Please go on.
So for us to strengthen the currency, we will need to be a nation that produces instead of just consuming and consuming.
That's one.
Of course, we will need to build industries across the country. We will need to get people gainfully employed, people who are gainfully employed, who are working, who are productive. We will need to come up with policies to deliberately protect the economy of the country. We need to begin to use the Naira. Even the expatriates that work in Nigeria, we should pay them in Naira instead of in dollars. We should do things that will strengthen the Naira against the dollar. And it is when we begin to do that, we'll begin to see our Naira appreciate. Otherwise, the Naira will keep nosediving. And before you know it, it will be 1,500 Naira to a dollar. Before you know it, it has become 2,000 Naira to a dollar. It will keep falling that way. God forbid.
Well, before we look at the issue, NDLEA intercepts Saudi Arabia bound cocaine concealed in a body cream. Don't you think if Nigerians would take these bold decisions to do everything using Naira, don't you think it would be like a call for war against countries who, of course, are in use, like the US?
No, some countries are doing it. Go to China and see what they're doing. They don't use the US dollar. They use their own country, their own currency, the currency of their own country. Nations that understand how economics work and they're interested in strengthening the economy, protecting the economy, they use their own currency. That is what Russia is doing. They're using their own currency. That is what Japan is doing. Malaysia that I talked about, that's what they're doing to protect their own economy. And Nigeria can do the same, but the average mentality, the mentality of the average Nigerian, whether it's an ordinary citizen on the street or a politician, is that I need hard currency. We call it hard currency. The dollar is hard currency, you know. And they are not interested. Bring the naira, bring the dollar, they will pick the dollar. You know, one of our politicians said one of the greatest economics on earth when he met the man. He said to the man, if I present the currency of your country, the naira and the US dollar, I give you 100 US dollar bill, maybe 100 naira. Which one will you pick? Of course, the Nigerian said he would pick the US dollar. He said, you see why? Your economy will never be better. See, that is the problem. Because we always want to go US dollar.
US dollar.
If I give you 100 naira and 100 US dollar, which one will you take? Of course, you will take the US dollar.
I will take it. I will take it.
Because one is 100 naira. See why the economy will never get better until there is the deliberate policy to strengthen the naira. The naira will never become strong.
All right. Which one do we pick now because of time? Do we go with the NDLEA or we go with the Army kills suspected IPOP member arrest just?
I think we can make brief comments about both of them.
Okay, please.
These people conceal drugs, hard drugs, cocaine and methamphetamine in body creams, and they travel with it. They will put it in body creams, they'll go to Saudi Arabia, they'll go to different parts of the world. And I must thank God for NDLEA that they are really waking up. That's why we keep thanking God for Buba Marwa. This man, anywhere you put him, is a man of action. He seems to always perform. More than 20 years ago, 25 years or more ago, when he was military administrator of Lagos, when people did not like Sani Abacha, when people were protesting against Sani Abacha, Mohammed Buba Marwa was the military governor of Lagos State and they were celebrating him. He was doing fantastically well. In fact, let me tell you, if Mohammed Buba Marwa had contested to be governor of Lagos State, they would have voted for him, even during the Abacha days. It is the same man now, many years after. He's still older. He's much more older than he was that time. Maybe he was in his 40s that time, you know. You can imagine how old he is now. But he's still performing.
He's performing, yes. Before
he came, NDLEA, we were not even hearing about them. We didn't even know what they were doing. Did you even know who was the chairman of NDLEA at that time?
Even
who was the chairman? You know? So, but when the man came, NDLEA experienced revival. Now, it is very difficult for any of these drug barons to carry drugs outside the country or bring drugs into the country. I mean, when you put it in a body cream, it's very difficult to detect. You just like it's part of your body lotion now that you're traveling with. Or you conceal it nicely in a small handbag that you're carrying or something, you know. It's very difficult to detect, but they were able to detect 1 kg, 1.5 kg, 2.5 kg of these hard drugs. And all those suspects, soon they went to get them because some of them, you know, they put those things and they disappear. But some of them were caught red-handed with these hard drugs and they went to pay for it. The other news about the IPOP member that was killed in Imo State, I think our military are rising up to the occasion and they're doing fantastically well when it comes to handling security. Especially in the southeast, but there is a lot of room for improvement. I'm happy that they caught this criminal called Biggie. Biggie is his nickname. He escaped from the Jos prison on the 28th of November 2021. 28th November 2021, when some criminals, some terrorists attacked the Jos prison and opened the prison gates and allowed their comrades to come out. He was one of those that escaped and he went all the way to the southeast. Now he has been caught. I'm happy. A few of them have been caught here and there, and they will be made to face the music. And I think kudos to our security operatives that they are rising up to the occasion, that they're doing a very fantastic work to get these criminals who thought that they can run away from the law and they will not pay for their crimes.
We can't do without this one, even if it's just a comment, a sentence that you would drop here, sir.
Yes.
This one says, appeal court nullifies a Senate minority leader Modcom election.
Yeah, Modcom, well, I don't belong to any party, so I don't know whether to say it's unfortunate. Unfortunately for Senator Matcon, the Senate Minority Leader, his election has been nullified by the appeal court. I think Labour Party maybe will be celebrating. Probably APC will be celebrating. The appeal court has directed INEC to hold elections within 90 days. So they have to conduct fresh elections. You know, for National Assembly elections, the case ends at the appeal court. So he can't go beyond. He can't go to the Supreme Court. So this is where it ends. The case has ended here. What we'll be doing will be preparing for another elections for the senatorial zone, the northern senatorial zone of Plateau State. I think that it is also good. It is good for democracy that this is taking place. We're a nation that we're encouraging ourselves that we should go by the rule of the law. So the appeal court in Abuja has ruled that the election of Matcon is nullified. It's null and void for several reasons. Mainly it has to do with the fact the internal wranglings within PDP, the way the congresses were conducted, and all those stories that we've been talking about for days and weeks, again and again, and even some of the guests you brought here have talked about some of those things. So it is for the same reason that the appeal court has nullified the election of Senator Matcon, and so new elections will have to be, they will have to hold new elections within 90 days from now. So I want to wish all of them well in the elections. Matcon, if he's going to contest again, the AP candidate, easy, you know, so if he's going to contest, and if APC will come and whoever they are, but I think one of the lessons we can learn is that it's good for parties to go by the books. Their procedures should be followed strictly in such a way that you don't give room for the law to go against you. Where you allow loopholes, you'll be having things like this. So, but when a party is united, when a party is one, when a party follows all due process, do everything they're supposed to do, you will not be having something like this. Of course, we know that to a great extent, the law is subjective in its judgment, you know, because you can have the same case and another judge can maybe see it from a different angle. So, but if your procedures are watertight, you follow procedures, and you don't allow loopholes, whoever is the judge would not be able to find loopholes to give rulings that you may not like. So I wish all of them the best. Within 90 days, we'll be back again, and Plateau North Senatorial Zone will hold elections.
Well, thank you, Prof, for being in the studio on this segment. Our listener and our viewer, it's good to know that you're still there, and I beg that you stay tuned. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, it's going to be another good segment again, and so stay tuned.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse. Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
Much for being there with us on Unity 93.3 FM and TV. Today is Monday, the 23rd of October 2023. Okay, and it's lovely. Of course, it has been so wonderful in the studio this morning because I have not been alone, just as usual. And so this morning I have in the studio someone who knows it better. And in most cases, I tend to describe it as someone who really believes in Nigeria. He's that one person who, for anything in this world, he will always tell you that Nigeria is a great nation. And he has no fear to introduce himself amongst people from other countries to say that Nigeria is a great nation. I'm talking about Professor PH Mayi. He's a friend of Unity FM, and so you may want to hear from him even this morning on this segment again. I'll let him say good morning once again.
Good morning, our viewers and listeners. It's wonderful. We've been together for some minutes now. We'll still move on together in this Unity train that will be taking us to a fantastic, wonderful destination, a destination of greatness for us as individuals and for our society and for our nation. And so I want to invite you all, please stay tuned to Unity Radio FM, Unity TV. Be part of this broadcast. When the time comes for you to make one or two contributions, feel free to make those contributions. Together, let's build a nation that is great, that is dynamic, a nation that all of us can be proud of. So once again, good morning, viewers and listeners.
Let's make sure we put our hands together to build a nation that is great for us to live in. Yes, of course, and that is why I have this. When people decide to take peace, take dialogue as a means of resolving issues amongst them, I have this to say, that destructions of lives and properties becomes the farthest thing ever around them, and development becomes the nearest thing with them. And so let's do the needful and live in peace with one another. And on this segment this morning, we have a topic that has to do with economy, and so current economic hardship and how to overcome them. I want to believe someone is going through some hardship out there, and so let's see if we would table some angles with which probably if taken note of, we could get to overcome the reality of terms at the moment. And so I have Prof also to go on this segment. And so Prof, let's get to know, what do we expect to hear from this topic?
Could be the current economic hardships in the country are real. There are economic hardships. People are passing through a lot. If you ask the average Nigerian, how is life, he will tell you that things are not so easy. Things are difficult. Things are hard. Things are tight. Challenges abound. The economic hardships are manifest every day, very evident. In fact, over the weekend, a prominent figure in the country was even calling on the president to resign. He was telling the president to resign because of the economic hardships, the rising economic hardships, increased economic hardships that we're facing as a country. He said the president promised a better life for Nigerians, but things are not getting better. Things are getting worse. And if things are getting worse, why should you be there? So people are frustrated because of the economic challenges in the country, the economic hardships. The other day in Lagos, a young lady gave birth to a baby, suckled the baby for some time. She got to a point where she felt she's not able to take care of the baby because she can't feed herself. And could be before the baby gets milk, the mother needs to eat. Exactly. I think everybody knows this. If the mother doesn't have food to eat, the baby is not going to get good milk. In fact, the milk will even dry up with time if the mother is starving. So the mother was finding it very difficult to eat. She couldn't feed herself. So she decided to throw away the baby. But before she could go far away, somebody saw her. Somebody saw the baby, and a small crowd started gathering. They arrested her. They grabbed her before she could run away. And she did not run. She just sat down there on the floor. And they were saying, "Why did you do this?" The lady said, "I cannot feed myself. I am dying of hunger and starvation. What is the use of keeping the baby? The baby will die also, and I will die. Things are hard. Things are difficult. The economic hardship is too much on me. I don't even have a house where I will stay." So the economic hardships are real. And in the midst of these economic hardships, landlords, in order to cope, are also increasing rent.
Yes.
They're increasing rent. You know that about 70% of Nigerians are not landlords. They don't own a house. So they live in rented rooms or apartments, and all that. So people are finding it difficult in the midst of these economic hardships that people are not able to feed themselves. Whatever they're able to get, that's what they will eat. I mean that you have people scavenging for food that is thrown in the dustbin. They go and scavenge to get food to eat. Some people who are even working that earn a salary, the salary cannot take care of them. They are earning some income, some wage that is not a living wage. Because the wage cannot take care of even one person, talk less of taking care of two, or a family of 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 or more people. We're talking about minimum wage. How much is minimum wage could be? That minimum wage of 30,000, 33,000, 35,000. Do you know that minimum wage is not enough? Enough to put petrol, give full tank of petrol in a car. My car takes more than 35,000 for a full tank. 40,000 naira minimum at least the tank will be getting towards being full. But that is what people have to collect as salary in a month, and that man has a wife, that man has children. The average Nigerian, more than 100 million Nigerians are living on less than $2 a day. What are we talking about, $2? No, less than $1 a day. Because now $1 is 1,200 naira on the average. $1 is about 1,200 naira. How many Nigerians get 1,000 naira every day of their lives? It means that they will be earning the minimum wage of 30,000. That means that if they give you the minimum wage, you are considered to be living in poverty, extreme poverty, as far as the FAO is concerned, as far as the World Health Organization is concerned, as far as the United Nations Trade Organization, as far as international indices is concerned. A person who earns Nigeria's minimum wage is living in extreme poverty. And even that minimum wage, many state governors are still struggling to pay it. And if they're able to pay salary, they will come out and brag and boast that they pay salary. You know, in other climes, there is no politician that brags because he pays salary. That is the minimum basic thing that you can ever do. That you pay salary, that you build roads, that people have water, have electricity. I mean, in sensible countries, countries that know what they're doing, no politician uses that for campaign. Because that is the basic minimum, the basic minimum of minimum that a government is supposed to do for our citizens. But here in Nigeria, somebody will build a 5-kilometer road, he will put it in the news and brag about it. Somebody will campaign that I'm going to make road, I'm going to provide electricity, and water. That's something. It shows how underdeveloped Nigeria is. It shows how extremely underdeveloped our country is. So there are so many things that Nigerians are passing through that recently somebody said that we should start putting in our CVs that we're survivors in Nigeria.
All right.
So if you're able to survive in this country, Nigeria, that is a great achievement that you should put in your CV. Because an average human being will not be able to survive in a country like Nigeria with the kind of harsh economic realities that we're having. That's why you see Nigerians trying to leave this country by all means, including by debt, even when they know that they have only a 50% chance of getting out of the country and getting to Europe by traveling through the desert, through the Mediterranean by sea and all that. They are still ready to take the risk. In fact, one Nigerian, when they told him that, look, this journey is risky, are you sure you might die? He said it's better he dies trying than for him to remain in Nigeria and die there. It's better he tries and dies along the way. So the economic hardships are real, and I tell you, the economy is really biting on the average Nigerian. Those who earn salaries, their salaries are not able to take them till the next month when another salary will be coming. Those who are doing business, their businesses are not flourishing the way they used to flourish before because the environment is not favorable. And those who are using their skills and other things, to make a living, the environment is very harsh, that it is proving extremely difficult. And that is why we'll have to talk about how we can overcome these economic hardships and challenges.
Yes, Prof, before we get to hear from you the modalities to put in place with which probably we can overcome such. You started this whole conversation with the fact that you describe it as rising economic hardship. So I'm so interested, underlining rising. Why did you say rising economic hardship?
Well, the hardship is increasing. It's rising, You will be expecting that if we have the right government in place and the government is putting correct economic measures, that the hardships will be reducing, but instead it's increasing. You'll be expecting that there will be a decrease in hardships, but hardships are rising, the economic hardships, because we don't have the right policies in place, and we don't have a government that is proactive. We don't have a government that is a visionary leadership in place. We don't have a government that knows what exactly they should do. Go and meet our government today and ask them, do you know what you are supposed to do to reduce the hardship of Nigerians? They don't know. They're just doing trial and error, It's just like a blind man that is trying to fill the wall so he can move around. They don't know the right thing to do.
Okay.
And it's not rocket science, because the experts have already said it. What should be done, but the government is not interested. It's either they don't know the right thing, or they don't want to do the right thing.
They're not willing.
They're not willing, to do it. So that is the challenge. That's why you see that the mudu of rice you bought a few weeks ago, the price has increased. Tomorrow you go again, it will increase. You go again, it will increase. The other day, I was buying ice fish. I said, no, I can't buy it at this price. The last time I bought it, it wasn't this price. The woman said it has increased. But they will tell them, just yesterday the price increased. So what you bought yesterday, today, there is no guarantee that the price will be the same. You know, because it keeps increasing. It keeps rising. Why? The dollar is becoming stronger. The naira is falling. Why? We keep importing everything. Why? Because we don't have correct policies on ground to help our economy and to help the citizens of this country.
You've already taken the angle with which I, would love to ask that what then should we do? Because we can't afford to just sit back and watch things happen. Like the young man you said, who was told it's too risky, to travel this path. That he said he preferred to die trying than to remain. So, but those of us who still remain in Nigeria, what other trying do we do now so that probably we make it?
Absolutely. There is a lot that can be done. Okay. Let's begin from the angle of the government, because that's where it begins from. When you come into leadership, you have accepted the people you are leading as your responsibility. And so you're supposed to do everything within your power to protect the people and to better the lives of the people. So the welfare and security of the citizens of Nigeria is the primary purpose of government. Is the primary responsibility of the government of the country. So it has to begin from the government. That's where it comes from. The government will need to put in policies that will better the lives of Nigerians. Let me tell you something before I forget. Do you know that in Malaysia, the prices of food, commodities, what people eat, what people feed on, because every human being, his major priority is first and foremost food. If he can eat food, then he can think about other things. The prices of food and commodities is regulated by the government. If you buy bread for 1 ringgit in Penang State in Malaysia, go to Perak State, it will be 1 ringgit. Go to Johor Bahru, it will be 1 ringgit. Go to Selangor, it will be 1 ringgit. Go to any state, any part. The government regulates the prices of food items. Anything that the people eat is regulated by the government. Not only by policy, but they have people who go about to enforce what the government has said and make sure that you cannot arbitrarily say, this crate of eggs is sold at this price, but I've taken it to another place, I will put another different price. The price is the same all over the country. Why can't we do that in Nigeria?
Do you think it will work in Nigeria?
If we have a serious government, it will work. Because the countries that are doing this are civilian governments, they're not military governments. I know in Nigeria the military have done it successfully in the past. People say because it's military, civilian government can do it. All you need to do is come up with the correct policies, sit down with all the stakeholders and agree, and then of course the government will pay some form of subvention, some form of money, instead of wasting subsidy on petrol that we don't see the results there, where we should have subsidies in food, so that the food price will not be having the current hyperinflation. Current food inflation in Nigeria is more than 30% now. The current food inflation, more than 30% inflation. So that we don't keep having this kind of inflation that we're having in the country. General inflation is at 26.72% currently. You can imagine what is happening. Whereas in countries like China, do you know in China, inflation is just 0.1% in China. 0.1% in China. And these are the countries that regulate. If you go to China, you cannot just put any kind of price you want on food items. No, the government will not take it. So we need to have some sort of regulated economy. I cannot buy bread for 500 naira, and I go to Abuja, the same bread is 1,000 naira, in Lagos is 1,500. Is it a different flour they're using to prepare the bread? Why is it? In fact, you will see that the same kind of bread, but the price, even within Jos, is different. They have a special price for refill, another price for kabong, another price for Angwan Rukuba, another price, for all, another price for other parts of Jos. The same commodity, the same item. So this is not good for the economy. There must be some form of regulation by the government. If you don't do that, the economic hardships will continue. The government must deliberately come in to put in economic policies that will reduce the hardships of citizens. Another thing the government can do is give workers a living wage. I'm happy the president talked about that, but so far it has just been talk. The 35,000 naira award or whatever it is not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. Let me tell you the truth. Considering the current economic conditions in Nigeria, the economic realities in Nigeria, the basic minimum wage that a reasonable government in this country should fix should be $300. 300 US dollars, the equivalent, that's about 300,000 naira. That should be the minimum wage that the lowest earner in Nigeria should be earning. Maybe the cleaner, the messenger, that is what they should be earning. The person that is just starting work today at the lowest rank in the civil service should be earning at least 300,000 naira. At least. That is where we should even begin from before we start talking. That is where it should begin from. But amazingly, the government is saying we are awarding you 35,000 naira. You should be happy. What is 35,000 naira? What is that going to do?
Prof, if that is what, like you said, if that is what you expect of a cleaner and some of these, what would you suggest would be, given to politicians, especially those who are, leading?
Well, the politicians should make sacrifice. Okay. Politics should be service. Politics is not about enriching yourself. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, people kill and do all manner of atrocities and occupy political office, not because they want to serve, but because they want to enrich themselves, because they want to enrich their families and their friends. And that is why they'll be talking about increasing their own, in Nigeria, the greatest industry is politics. Politics is where people earn. Politics and banditry. These are the highest earning industries in Nigeria. If you're a politician or you're a bandit, you'll be earning a lot of money. A lot of money. But people who do other things are not earning as much. Each senator earns millions, about 30 million every month. And they're even complaining that is small. Because they say there's constituency projects that we are not seeing. They need to do this. They have a retinue of aides, and so many vehicles. Why do you need all that? Why can't our politicians use a small car that costs 5 million naira so they can serve the country? Why must they go and buy cars that are 160 million? What do you need it for? That's why they will never repair our roads. Because they're riding big cars with solid shock absorbers, brand new from the factory. They don't feel the potholes. They're inside air conditioners. They are not feeling the heat that we're feeling. They are not inhaling the dust that we're inhaling. They're enjoying themselves. That's why they don't care about the roads. Except a few of them, of course. So, if the government wants to really help the average Nigerian, we need to have a living wage. Living wage. You need to look at how much does it cost to feed a family in a month, an average family. How much does it cost to pay school fees? How much does it cost to pay bills, electricity bills? How much does it cost to do all these things before you fix the minimum wage? You don't just fix minimum wage arbitrarily. The 35,000 naira award, what is that? For what? What was the yardstick for that amount? 35,000, what is that? When in other countries that are not even within Africa, a housemaid can earn as much as $300 equivalent. But a professor earns less than $1,000. What the professor is earning in Nigeria is about $500 as salary every month. So a housemaid in Kuwait, a housemaid in Saudi Arabia, a housemaid in United States can pay the salary of 1, 2, 3 Nigerian professors. So what are we talking about? And our politicians know these things. They know that a street cleaner in Iraq, in Kuwait, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai can buy a brand new Mercedes-Benz. But in Nigeria, a government worker, a civil servant cannot buy a brand new car except if he's stealing from government coffers. Show me one civil servant that can buy a brand new car, brand new Mercedes-Benz, brand new SUV from his salary. Show me one in this country. So the government needs to do something. Workers need a living wage if you want to reduce the suffering.
All right.
And we need incentives. And the government knows these things, but they're not ready to do it. We want to reduce the economic hardships of Nigerians. You will need to give incentives. Incentives to hardworking Nigerians. Give them incentives. We need to build industries across the country. We need people to be employed. Our unemployment rate has hit 40%, more than 40% unemployment in Nigeria. People need to be gainfully employed. Agriculture alone in Nigeria can employ more than 20 million Nigerians. Why are we not doing something about it? We have arable land from Maiduguri to Lagos, from Sokoto to Port Harcourt. We are blessed with land that can be cultivated. Why are we not investing in agriculture that can employ 20 million Nigerians?
Okay.
And various other sectors are there. If we want to reduce the hardship of Nigerians, the government will need to be proactive in these areas of creating jobs, creating employment. Of course, there are other things. While we are waiting for the government to do what they are supposed to do, we also, individual Nigerians, there are things that we can do.
Okay, Prof.
Yes.
There are things we too can do.
Absolutely.
We'll go on a short break. Thank you. Our viewer and our listener, when we come back, Prof is going to be telling you what you should need. What you should do in order to help yourself out of this economic hardship. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your... Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you so much. It's 3 minutes down the hour of 9 this morning. And of course, don't forget today is Monday, the 23rd of October 2023. And so in the studio this morning, it has been Professor Poveno H. Bamayi. And we've been looking at how possible we could get over economic realities, the hardship, posed by some unpopular policies in this country. It's fine, and on this segment, of course, it's your segment. It's that time with which you get to throw in your comments and you make a call, and then we just get to hear your name and where you're calling us from, and then go ahead in a minute. You tell us what you have as your own take regards to what we should do, and then gets to overcome what we are passing through as hardship, economic hardship to be precise. Before I put on the studio line, so to let you call, I want to give a professor just some 3 to 5 minutes so that he would get to tell me and tell you, our listener and our viewer, what you need to do in order to overcome economic hardship. And so, Prof, back to you in a moment.
Yeah. Yes. We need certain measures to cope with the current economic hardships in the country. And there are things that we were doing before that we have to stop doing. And some things we were not doing that we need to start doing.
All right.
To cope with the current economic challenges and realities that we have in the country, to overcome these economic hardships that we have. For example, I'll just offer maybe some suggestions. If you are finding it difficult to maintain a car, it means that you don't need the car. Park the car,
okay, and
use public transport. Many people have done it already. You can use public transport. There are distances you can trek, and trekking is even healthy. And people have been doing it. One of my senior colleagues, so many years ago, we just parked the car and trek everywhere around the Ahmadu Bello University. We say, you trek from the, because ABU is a gigantic university. Good exercise. She said, I want to live long and I want to be healthy. So it's not everywhere you go with cars. Some people who carry their car, they'll even, if possible, park it maybe near the window of their office. If it was possible, they want the car to even enter the office. You don't need that. So we should learn to trek more, maybe use our cars less, and use some more of public transport if you're already finding it difficult to put fuel in your car. It means that you might need to keep the car for some time, maybe use it periodically. Maybe you drop children in school, once you return back, just leave it there. Enter public transport and go to work or whatever you're doing. That's something we can do. Another thing we can do is start thinking of saving Don't use all your salary if you are earning an income. Save something before you begin to spend. That's the way the wise people make money. They don't spend money and then save what is left. No. They save and then spend what is left after saving.
Right.
So we need to come up with strategies to save. You know, there's a saying that you cut your coat according to your size, but it has changed now. That
yes.
the new saying is that you cut your coat according to your clothes.
Yes.
Because your size might be too big.
For the clothes available for you.
So just use the one, the amount of cloth you have determines what kind of coat you make. So there are other things we can do. For example, when you're buying food, ask yourself, do I really need this food? Do I need this one? Must I eat meat every day? Maybe beans can serve because it is also protein. Maybe something else, a substitute. If meat is too expensive for you, you can find some alternative. After all, there are people who don't even eat meat all the days of their lives, and they're healthy and strong and vibrant. We have vegetarians, and vegetarians are healthy, you know. So you might need to cut down on certain things. We spend money on certain food items, you know, because of the economic realities that we have on ground. We need to be thinking, let me only buy what is very necessary. Somebody has suggested that buying food in bulk saves money, but it depends on how much you really have, because some people, they live from hand to mouth, so they may not be able to buy food in bulk. For those of us who have children, this is the time to ensure that your children are schooling as near to your house as possible. If possible, let them attend school within walking distance from the house. That way you saved the thousands of money that you'll be spending on transportation. You will have saved it. So depending on where you're staying, if there is a school that is averagely okay and good there, why don't you enroll your children in schools that they can, from the house within walking distance, go there? Instead of moving from one part of the town, one part of the city to the other, you know, just to attend school. You know, this way you'll be saving a lot. In fact, we should be thinking about, is it worth it? Spending 300,000 naira as school fees in a term just because you want your children to attend the best school in the city. And that best school, what they're teaching them is not different from what they will also be learning in a school where they pay 50,000 naira in a term, 30,000 naira in a term. You need to weigh those options. Is it really worth it? Because some of the best students that have emerged in the states and nationally did not go to big name schools. They did not go to the most expensive schools in the city. Some of those very expensive schools are just expensive by name. But what they are teaching there is what is more important. What is the curriculum? What is your child learning? So if you are struggling economically, you may consider withdrawing your children from those expensive schools and put them in schools that are more affordable. Rent also is another aspect you have to look at. How much are you earning in a month? And then if you multiply by 12 months, how much is it by 12 months? If your rent is more than your salary of 1 month, you need to think deeply about it. That rent might not be worth it. If your rent is more than your salary of 1 month, you need to do something about it, because you might be struggling. Out of 12 months of the year, if I take my salary of 1 month, is it enough to pay the rent of 1 year? If it is not enough, maybe you're living beyond your income. If your minimum wage, for example, is 30,000 naira a month, that's the salary you earn every month, then you should be thinking of an accommodation that is not more than 30,000 to 50,000 in a whole year. You should get accommodation where you pay just 30,000, maybe a room or or a thatched roof or zinc or whatever it is, you know. Because that is the way. If you don't do that, you're going to be struggling to pay rent. So if your rent is more than your 1 to 2 months salary, then you might be living beyond your means, and you will need to do something about it. And of course, we need to tell ourselves the truth. Of course, while we're waiting for the government to do what is right, you will tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself that, look, I cannot be depending on one income. I need multiple income. If I have some skills that can bring in money, some people, they know how to talk a lot. You can be an MC, you can be like basket mouth, a comedian, and get some money in addition to the work that you're doing. We have people who are civil servants. They own maybe a music studio, maybe the event planners, they're one thing or the other in addition to their regular job. You need multiple sources of income. You can use your skill, your knowledge, do something else apart from maybe your government job or your private job, whatever. Ensure that you have multiple sources of income that you're investing here and there, so that you can have some income coming from different sources. Don't just rely on one source of income. If you're relying on one source of income, you might be in trouble. Please invest. Please have multiple sources. Maybe go and farm. Maybe keep some poultry. Keep some maybe rabbits. Maybe grow some what do they call mushroom? You know, mushroom is a fantastic business now. I'm told that if you just have just a kg of mushroom that you harvested, is a lot of money and thousands that you'll be earning. So find something else that you will be doing in addition to maybe your regular job that you're doing. These are strategies to be able to survive the difficult times. But very key could be,
yes,
we need to cut down on unnecessary expenses. Many of the things we spend money on are not worth it. If you can buy a shoe of 5,000 naira, why are you looking for the one that is 15,000 or 20,000? If you can get a trouser of 500 naira, why look for the one that is 10,000 naira? Many of the things we spend money on are not worth it. They're just frivolities. Why do you need to organize party for everything? Why do you need to organize a big celebration and spend a lot of money? And in the name of, okay, I'm doing a Thanksgiving, and you don't have the money, you go and borrow to do a Thanksgiving and cook for the whole community, while you can give thanks to God from your heart, and God will accept it, and He knows that you don't have the money. Why go to borrow money to do things? Why borrow money to do a wedding when you can do your wedding in the pastor's office, or you can see the imam, they can arrange it, and you spend just 10,000 naira, you finished your wedding.
And you're done.
You're done.
And you have family members and friends.
Why go to borrow?
Put them through.
Now some people do weddings within the week in the pastor's office. The bride and the groom just come, get a few people, they pray for them, and you're married. Or during Sunday service, they just call you and pray for you, and you're married. Go. You don't need to waste money on reception, money that you don't have. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need to be realistic. Some bogus expenses, are not necessary.
Right.
We need to cut down on our expenses because of the current economic challenges, economic realities. And let me just say one more thing, that one way to make money, where there is problem, there is money.
Okay.
Where there is problem, there is money. If you don't know how to make money, look for a problem, solve that problem, you will make money. If you look at the community, there is a lot of refuse dump piling up. That is a problem in that community. There is money there. There is money there. You go to a place, they don't have water. There is money there. If you solve that problem, you'll be making money. So wherever there is problem, where there is problem, there is money. If you don't know what business to do to make money, just go to a place, see what is a problem there, and you make money. That's how somebody made millions of naira in Lagos, because Lagos, no public toilets. People will be looking for somewhere to defecate. They cannot find it, somewhere to urinate. They cannot find it, and all that. And he decided to come up with mobile toilets, and he became a multi-millionaire. That is a problem. He solved the problem. He made money. Please remember this. Viewers and listeners, where there is problem, there is money.
Oh my.
If you solve the problem, you make money.
Where there is problem, there is sure money. But of course, you have to solve it in order to get the money. That will be an exchange there. Thank you so much. Now our studio line is on. Just tell me your name, where you're calling from. Go straight on. In a minute, you drop your comments. For our SMS, 0808 478 9999. SMS, the number again, 0808 478 9999. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Who's on the line this morning?
This is Mike Gambo. I'm calling from Kayatarwa along the Lake.
It's okay then. So go on in a minute.
Please, focus very well. The issue of economic problem is damaging the whole country.
Yeah.
And we need to be very proactive, especially our politicians.
Okay.
You see, the country needs to be very proactive in taking measures in the economy.
All right.
People are dying. You see, we need to be very cautious. Security challenges is on.
All right.
And people are fighting for their daily bread. We need to be very proactive.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll be reading in between calls, the SMS because of time. This one says, good morning, gentlemen in the studio. God bless you all. Prof, whenever you speak, we listen. God have blessed your tongue. How I wish I will be in your class one day. Abbas Bawasa from Tudunwada. Okay. Abbas wish you would be in your class one day so that he will listen to you more than he gets to listen on air. Hello, good morning. Thank you.
My name is Shirye. I'm calling you from last week.
You have a minute. Please go on, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Definitely, the guest has already said it all. But my word is that why is it that the policy makers?
Oh my. I think we lost him. This one says, good morning, gentlemen, and good morning, Prof. We sincerely appreciate you. Please, Prof, my question is that does the Code of Conduct Bureau have no legal rights to stop or call their attentions on their plan for extrajudicial spending and extravagant spending on this current hardship, while some of their constituents are dying on hungry, all right? Indeed, why not channel it to build industries? Thank you at Ismail Isa Jos. Ismail, thank you for... Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Fakuldi and Prof.
Oh, thank you. You have a minute. Go on, please, Pastor.
All right, this is Pastor Henry JJ, the known as Young T of Doncaster.
Thank you. Go on.
Wow, your discussion today is really getting interesting like every other day.
Thank you.
You know, any country who wants to do well economically will never rely on 90% of most of the things they consume, and that is exactly what Nigeria is doing.
Okay.
Our leaders are not visionary leaders. They just come and spend 4 years, 8 years, and then go and sit down and travel abroad, build another man's country. And until we have leaders who have Nigeria at heart, let Nigeria be our language. If they can do that, I am telling you, our economy will grow. But if they cannot do that, they will continue to be talking this same issue year in, year out. We have been talking about these things every year, every day, every month, every week, and yet no drastic change has happened in the Nigerian economy. How can you take an economist and give him Minister of Education like what the past government did?
Okay.
And until we begin to appoint people on their areas of specialization, we will not get it right.
Thank you.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Pastor Yanti. Good morning. The unacceptable behavior of some of our so-called leaders is responsible for high cost of everything in Nigeria. I can't wait to see when government regulates the price of food items. Baba G. Danpai from Mr. Ali. Baba G, you see, I have reframed your SMS. This is because the other part of it is not something I'll read out on air. So please, next time you do it as I, just to reframe your
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Please come in.
Thank you.
Come in.
Calling you from Olvidi.
Oh, thank you very much. You're good to... call, but you have a minute.
I'm on my phone, but when work started, I have to Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
It's good to know
But
that.
listening to voice of reason is up.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
see, whether we like it or not, my friends, we have been talking about cost of governance.
Yes.
Our leaders really ready to listen to the cost of governance. We should start asking ourselves, why most of our leaders running into politics? You become a millionaire overnight. Is this how we should run the country? We know something is wrong, but whether we like it or not, the gap between the poor and the rich, the leaders and the less, is beyond imagination. That is why I keep on saying, every Nigerian is all about okay. You are the one to pay your NEPA bill. You are the one to pay your water bill. You need to adjust. Get back to where you are. It's just the same way the job the professor is saying. I have my job here. I know exactly one leader will be a gallon of gas to go get back to the town and come back. And I have to start here for 1 week sleeping in my town because I know what it cost me to take the truck down to the town and come back. These are things we should be talking about. This is really getting out of hand. We should not pretend. Nothing is working, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He said he's in his farm, but once you started talking, he had to stop everything just to listen to you. Okay. Thank you very much for making that wonderful contributions. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kulbi.
Thank you. Hello. Peace Ambassador, it's good to have you. Please go on in a minute.
Thank you very much. Marissa, you have already said it all.
Professor.
You make my day today, Professor.
Thank you.
But my concern is that for the in Nigeria or Plateau State, in terms of food regulation, I don't think Nigerian government can do that. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Why I said so, now in my area again get it. If you buy something, you understand, rice or something.
Yes.
If you went to another area, it's different. The money is not the same. You understand?
Yes.
But I don't know what is happening. These are what they say every day. If they went to the market, this is going higher and higher. We our money is going higher and higher. I'm telling you, people, masses are not happy in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Not anywhere. I'm telling you my mind. We the masses, we are not happy in Nigeria. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Could be 3 square meal now. Don't talk of it. Because
okay.
people are not taking 3 square of meal. I'm telling you.
Noted.
People will take their breakfast like 11:30 because they want to go at least reach like 8 o'clock before they eat another food. You understand?
Yes.
They want to make their food to be economized.
Thank
you
you.
Understand? Thank you very much.
Oh, Abdullah Rocky Boy, Peace Ambassador there. Okay, there is no time. Let me just read through some SMS that I have here. Good morning, Kobe, Prof, and enlightened listener and viewer. We really appreciate. We are the problem. Let's always be humble, generous, and sincerity. Kindness to your fellow creature makes you close and loved by God. It also endure you to your fellow creatures. This is one sure way to be successful in life. Garba Hassan, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kudu.
Thank you very much.
This is Adewumi calling from Bunkiri.
Adewumi, you have a minute. Please go on.
Thank you for the opportunity to bless you today. I appreciate your guest in the studio.
Thank you very much. Go on.
My major take this morning, Mr. Kudu. Nigerians are suffering.
Yes.
But thank God is.
All right.
God, human beings were to be God. Where we will have been. When we just give glory to God.
Yes.
Because in fact, Nigerians are suffering.
Yes.
And I say, God give our leaders the wisdom to lead this nation.
Yes.
But things are not funny.
Yes.
They should not wait until the people feeding from the dustbin.
Yes.
But they will know that Nigerians are suffering.
Yes.
Please.
Thank
We
you.
thank God is God because it's the high cost of everything. Every day we are still feeding. Please, but let them have a rethink on all these issues, all these things they are doing. Let them cut down the cost of governance.
All right.
Let them cut down on the cost of governance because Nigerians are really suffering.
All right.
I pray God will continue to give us peace and continue to bless Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. I think that's the much we can take. This one, an SMS say, good morning, Kubi and the prof in the house. Thank you, sir, for the lecture. Peter Bala from Gumo. Okay, this one is coming from Christy Zain saying, good morning. Kubi and Professor Bamayi, kudos to the prof for his consistent, wonderful and objective analysis. I love the way he always speaks with passion. Christy, let me continue with a passion. Analysis. I love the way he always speaks with passions. Honestly, the economic hardship is really biting, and the prof has proper solutions. We and the government should do the needful. God bless Unity FM and Nigeria. Christy Izan from Rukubaro. Thank you, Christy Izan. Okay, I can see your calls. Christy still want to make a call. Okay, this one is saying, good morning, gentlemen in the studio. We appreciate your efforts. My question here is, you are trying to tell the truth, but the politicians, are they not hearing? Oh my, that is the questions. Do they hear this? Let's continue to do the needful. That's the much we can take. It's already 2 minutes for us to be out of here. Oh my.
Yeah, could be.
Prof, what can we say? What can you say in a minute so we can just...
I think we need to tell ourselves continually, that we need to continually tell ourselves the truth. The politicians, please, can you cut down on cost of governance? You're telling Nigerians to make sacrifice. Are you making sacrifice? You're telling Nigerians, please, you don't have to buy this, you don't have to do this. But you yourself, are you making sacrifice? Why do we have the largest cabinet in the history of Nigeria now when we're talking about cutting the cost of governance? Why do we need all this long convoy of vehicles when 2 or 3 vehicles are enough for a governor? Why do you need to have 50? Why do you need to have 100 for the president?
Okay.
5 not enough. We need to cut down on cost of governance. Nigerians are suffering. Leaders, true leaders, identify with their citizens and suffer along with them. But while Nigerians are suffering, you're enjoying yourselves. Are you truly leaders? These are the things that we should be telling ourselves. If the politicians are going abroad for holiday, why do you have to go abroad and be weakening our currency? Why can't you go to Obudu, cattle range, and cross river? It's good enough for holiday. Why can't you come to the plateau? You can go to Miango rest home. It's enough for holiday, even for the president.
Right.
Why do we have to use money and go to Dubai and go to UK and US and other places? We need to cut down on cost of governance. We need to be realistic. Our leaders should make the needed sacrifice and set an example for Nigerians to follow.
Prof, you need to come back here, maybe tomorrow or next, so that you can continue on this. Listener and our viewer, thank you. That's the much we can take. So sorry taking all of your time. That's the much we can take. Tomorrow is going to be another beautiful day. Stay tuned for other programs on this station. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.